So my MO always is, when it comes to any type of legal transaction, or we're going to do anything in relation to this, I say let's put it down on paper. Let's be practical. Let's be clear. Let's have consequences. Let's have conditions that are clear. Let's not depend on trust. Let's not depend on the love. Let's not depend on the feelings, because tomorrow a person may just change their feelings. Anything might happen. And so that will pose a risk on whatever transaction you are doing, i.e., giving someone a house, saying that keep it in your name, I want to protect it in the meantime. We saw with the other video what happened to that dad, right, who had given things to his sister. Now, people often say, no, this is not enough, so it's not necessary, because understandably so, they've established a relationship with often the people they are doing whatever it is that they're doing with, whatever transaction, right, they're doing. They often have a relationship with that person, so they do not want to fathom the idea that the person could change. But let me not talk too much about this issue, and let's just get right into it, right? Okay, so if you're here for the very first time, my name is Yolanda Nyenges. I'm an attorney by profession, right? This is where normally I get my stories, or people will tell me their stories, and then I come and narrate them here with the purpose of you learning from it. Because I've seen a lot of people tend to learn only from the experience of others instead of learning via being taught what the law says or where it stands. So today, I've got a story for you. Now, this one is not a story from Anonymous. This is a story I encountered a couple of years ago when I was working. So bear with me. Let me tell you the story. So this is how the story goes. We have this lady come in to the office. She needs help, legal assistance. She's between the ages of 70 and 75. She's quite frail, old lady. She comes into the office and she says she needs assistance. And we ask, oh, okay, what type of assistance are you looking at? I am looking to sue or to do something about my son who has sold my house. In fact, he took it. So we start inquiring on this matter, and it turns out what the son did was that he convinced the grandmother, or his mother in particular, to move this property out of her name, because she's old and she lives alone, out of her name into his own name, right? And then the grandmother was going to get a set sum of amount, and also was going to have a cottage built in the premises where the son actually lives, right? And so that they can keep an eye on her, and also so that when she does pass away, this is not too problematic. Grandma agrees, right? And so she does that. She signs paperwork with the son, and everything is in order. So she then moves into the son's house. But now the son did not necessarily build a cottage. I think he built a room. But all of a sudden, there's issues. The son now wants to kick her out of his home. And she's like, but you said you'd take care of me. What's going on here? The son is adamant. He's even going to the police station, trying to chuck his own mother out of his house, after having taken her house away from her and not compensating her for that. How do we deal with this situation now? It's difficult, right? Because here's the thing. When the grandmother or the mother of this man was doing this, though she was old, she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing and had agreed to it. But what was on paper, what was on the contract, was that the sale is that of cash. and the mother was going to be paid a certain sum of money. But this aspect that the mother would live on their property was nowhere on the conditions, nowhere on any contract. And so the only leg she had to stand on was the fact that she trusted that the son would do what? Would keep to his promise. She gave birth to that child. She nurtured him. They had a good relationship. So now he was kicking out. It wasn't making any sense. Mind you, someone who's 70 plus years old, where do they even go? What do they even do with their lives? Because right now they should be resting, taking care of their health, because they've lived. They're tired, they're old, and they're frail. But the son was saying, get out of my property. Terrible situation. Obviously, this is something that I want you to take from this. Like I said in the beginning, when you're going to enter into such transactions, this is what I want you to understand, is that you must do it in the most strictest possible way. If there's anything that you are agreeing to, have the right type of contract written down. Have the right type of terms written down. Protect your interests. I've seen this with many parents moving houses to their children's names, all in the name of, I don't want them to go through administration. I don't want them to do this. I don't want this. The next thing, those very same children want to chuck them out. And they don't understand. And they think that they can rely on whatever word, they shared between themselves and those children. But the Lord does not stand on the word of the other person. In actual fact, when you were buying this house, what kind of agreement would you have even had with a child? With someone under the age of 18? You have to do things in the most, careful way. Make sure you protect your interests. You seek legal advice. I know everything is all over the place. It's haywire. But ideally, what I want you to get here is that this is not a joke. When you're going to take a property out of your name to another person's name, you remove rights away from yourself. And those rights, you cannot say they must come back to you by the snap of a finger. They're gone. Now you're going to be at the mercy of that person. Are there no other alternatives that you looked into? I mean, was this the only option for you to compromise not having a place to live because you're concerned about the estate administration after your death, or whatever it is that you're concerned about? Is there no other way? If that kid kicks you out, what's your plan? What are you going to do? Because the law is not going to protect your interests. You gave away your interests. You did not protect them. You did not write anything down to protect your interests. There are so many other alternatives that you could have utilized, but you did not. You decided to rely on feelings. You decided to rely on the trust you had with that person. What did I say? I said to you, these things are capable of changing. Feelings, the type of relationship you have with someone, they are capable of changing. Which is why when you have a contract written down, or whatever it is that you do, you want to make sure that when they change their minds, the law still protects your interests, because you ensure that in writing you are protected. Listen, if you did not hear me, you will never hear me. See me next time when I talk about Anonymous' story. I just wanted to share that with you. Do not rely on trust. Do not rely on feelings. Make sure you do things objectively and use things that will protect your interests. Look into it before you make such type of decision. Like I said, my name is Yolanda Nyengeza. And I always say, prevention is better than cure. See you next time.